wear 6 for Wigan. I've seen him wear 13 for Wigan before he went over to play for the Hull sides.
Yeah. And then obviously more recently, Sika Manu and Mark Minicella, again, both very talented players. But I do agree that they both played a season too long for us.
Yeah. So I've got a few others that we haven't mentioned yet. So I'll because I love these guys that we haven't mentioned at all yet. David Furner had a couple of years at Wigan where he was very good, and then a couple of years at Leeds at the start of their time. Now, obviously, his time as coach at Leeds won't be remembered as fondly, but I think he definitely was involved in helping that young squad come together at Leeds after. I think he was a salary cap casualty at Wigan when he left after the 2002 season, but he was fantastic. From a Wigan perspective, if I'm putting my Wigan eyes on, I think we've had so many good second rowers in recent years that are genuine second rowers. Joel Tompkins, Harrison Hansen, Danny Tickle before them, and obviously we talked a bit about Mick Cassidy and Dennis Betts, and obviously Liam Farrell, John Bateman. From that perspective, Simon Mannering and Sam Thaiday were both NRL ones and internationally as well for Australia and for New Zealand. Those guys I thought stood out massively as well. Danny Kerman's had a very good Super League career, and we haven't mentioned him yet. Brett Ferris, Tim tried to talk about him in another show when he didn't belong, but he belongs in this show. And Jamie Jones Buchanan, his longevity, we sort of mentioned him briefly before as well. That definitely needs a mention there. What about the current players that are out there? Because I think each of our clubs have got some of the current stars. I don't need to talk anymore about Liam Farrell, but at Hull you've got Josh Jones now, who has really become one of the top second rowers in the competition. At Saints you've got Zeb Taylor, who's at the back end of his career but still very much delivering as a back rower. We could talk about Morgan Knowles, but he's a loose forward, so we won't. And then at Warrington, they've got Ben Curry, we talked about before, but they've got Ben Murdoch-Masila until whenever this season might come and go. And obviously we haven't talked a lot about Sonny Bill Williams, but he's been mentioned a few times.
Well, where do you start with that? I mean, Josh Jones, surely Saints are kicking themselves letting him go. He's such a great player. He's he's really difficult to tackle. If you notice, he's got a low.
That's because he's round.
Start. He is, yeah, he is. Where do you tackle him? Where do you hit him to bring him down? As soon as someone grabs him, he's able to. If you watch, he spreads his legs quite wide to make it hard to topple, and it's hard to chop him then.
And he never really runs forwards either, so that makes him harder to stop as well, because he's always running sideways, so he can spin out of tackles with his roundness. I guess, I don't know, but that helps him always have his arm free, doesn't it? He is one of the great offloaders in our competition, as well as one of the great tackle busters.
Yeah, he's a great player, and I'm sure he'll only get better. Actually, I think he can still improve. Zeb Taylor at Saints, he's been a good pro all his life, hasn't he? He's always done very well wherever he's been. He's such a gentleman as well. I've been in his company before now, and he's just a very nice person, very pleasant.
He had an amazing link-up with Morgan Escaray for a year, didn't he, at Catalans, which got him a deal back in the NRL. But he was swapped for Joe Greenwood, weren't he? When Joe Greenwood went to the Titans, Zeb Taylor came back to Super League with Saints, and I thought his career was kind of spent, but he's gone on to have 3 fantastic seasons, well, 2 and a bit.
Yeah, well, it was come from nowhere, really. It was quite a strange one, wasn't it? And everyone's thinking, well, he's been a great player, but is he still up to it? And he certainly has been. He's a great athlete. I was a big fan of Joe Greenwood, to be honest. I don't know why it's not worked out for him wherever he's been.
I think there's physical capabilities are not his problem, but in terms of his skill set and his size and but I think there's been concussion issues, and I think with that, naturally, perfectly understandably, I think some toughness issues have maybe come into it because of it, and I respect him for still wanting to play with his concussion issues, and well, it's not like he's gone, as it were, lost his marbles, but I think there's some aspect of him that means his talent won't quite be fulfilled, and I think it's a different kind of aspect to say a Gareth Hock, who probably had the same physical capabilities, and it's a different reason why they wouldn't be completely fulfilled. One was head loose, and one is a bit more maybe introspect. I don't know. A bit more thoughtful
I remember
about what he
watching when
wants to
he
do.
first came through, and I thought he was very, very talented. But he had everything you need to be an exceptional second rower. So, yeah, I'm just a bit disappointed it's not worked out more for him, because he certainly appears to have all the ability. Some others that you mentioned, who are those?
Doesn't matter. We don't need to talk about everyone in detail. The last second row player I'm going to mention is what I think will become the best forward in the world over the next 2 or 3 years, and that's David Fafita at Brisbane. I just think, I mean, the kid's a teenager still, I think, and he's just absolutely outstanding. And I don't know if he might end up playing as a 13 maybe, but at the moment he plays a little bit out wide, and absolutely powerful, quick, skillful, physical both ways, absolute talent. He's the last one I'd sort of mention there. I think as my last one to talk about, because I've said about 150 names, I think.
Well, we've mentioned many because there's been many great second rowers, and you're right. He certainly looks apart, doesn't he? I mean, genetically and physically, he certainly has all the attributes to be a great athlete. And if you've got those athletic capabilities, then you can go a long way in our sport. You really can. There's others. There's probably dozens more if you knew the fringe players in the NRL who are genetically and physically very gifted. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing them all come through.
Yep. Sarah, I think probably now it's time for you to unleash the quiz on us, I guess.
Yep.
So, so tell us about the quiz, first of all, and then tell us how David's going to beat me comprehensively.
So let me just find the quiz. The quiz is a quiz about second rowers, because that's the theme of the show. I'm just passing a little bit of time whilst I actually open the right thing. So here we go. We have, it's largely, so there's 5 questions.
Okay.
Well, there's 5 topics. Some of them have multiple parts.
Okay.
So, question number 1. Possibly Super League's longest second rower.
Hold on. How are we doing it in terms of
longest second rower?
No.
What is tall?
Before Sarah can do the question
I'm going to ask you the questions, and you can take it in turns as to who answers first.
Right.
And we're looking for a long second rower.
I'm going to even give you a name in a minute.
Right. Sorry, Sarah. I just wanted to understand how we're doing it. So we're both answering each question.
Yeah.
But alternate who gets the chance to go first. So David will go first on this one, and then I'll go first on the next one.
Yeah.
Right. Fine.
So, question 1. Possibly Super League's longest, I think it should be serving second rower, Jamie Jones Buchanan. A. How many games did he play for the Rhinos?
389.
Okay, Mark?
I'm going to guess he was injured quite a bit, weren't he? 350.
David is correct there. Well, David, is the closest.
Oh, I thought I got it spot on then.
No, the
That
actual,
would be amazing.
He was still a fair way off. The actual answer was 421.
Oh, fucking hell. I suppose in 20 years, yeah, good point.
We don't need the other 4 questions. Should we just stop now?
Yeah.
Do you want to have a guess at how many tries he scored?
Oh, okay. Do I go first on this one?
Yeah, you can go first on this one, Mark.
In 400 games. 1 in every 5. 88.
Okay.
72.
Oh, that's close. He actually scored 77 tries.
Oh.
But David was just closer there.
Yep.
And finally, on JJB, How many Challenge Cup finals did he receive winners' medals for?
Does this mean how many did he play in that he won?
Yes.
Because I don't... Just to be clear, I don't understand how winners' medals works in the Challenge Cup. Do you only get a winners' medal if you play in the final? Or do you get a winners' medal if you played...
Okay, how many times was he in the winning team?
Okay.
3.
So, I was buying myself time by asking that question and trying to think of when Leeds won the Challenge Cup. I think during his time at Leeds, they won the Challenge Cup in '99. That was probably too early for him to have been in the team. And then they won it in 14 and 15, was it? Or was it 15 and... I think it was 14 and 15, weren't it? And I think he was injured for one of those. So I think he's only won one.
You're both incorrect. He actually has... My husband is also incorrect. He's just come through putting fingers up. He hasn't actually ever won it.
Oh.
He's been the runner-up on 4 occasions.
Yeah.
2005, 2010, 2011 and 2012. Moving on to another player, Danny Tess Tickle started life as a half but soon moved into the pack. How many clubs did he play for?
Oh, is this my turn to go
Mark's
first?
Question to go first.
Okay, so... I've lost my float. Right. Eight. I'm going with 8.
Okay. David?
This is tough. I can easily think of 4 or 5, but I know he's played for more, so it's just a guess. So if I can only think of 4 or 5, I'll go 7.
Oh, again, very close. But Mark, you are actually spot on with 8. Can you name them then?
Halifax.
Yep.
Wigan.
Yep.
Hull FC.
Yep.
Widnes.
Yep.
Lee.
Yep.
Hull KR.
Yep.
Workington.
Yep.
And I think Salford.
No.
Castleford.
Castleford.
I knew there was somewhere he went on loan, like a loan.
That is one of the
Widnes
ones
and
that
Lee.
Yeah. Sorry, David.
That was one of the clubs that I knew. It was at Castleford. It was only a short time. It was fairly recently, wasn't it?
I know he missed a touchline conversion when we played them a few years ago, which meant that we won the match, something like 38-36 or something.
Yeah, I think it was that year that they ended up playing Millington as halfback for half the year because they had so many injuries.
Yeah.
Was it 2016?
Yeah, Powell brought him in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did he make more or less? Has he made more or less appearances than JJB? And that's David first.
I'll go yes.
Sorry, less.
I'll go yes. He's played more.
Yes, he's played more.
I have, for some reason, and I don't know why, but I will have been on his Wikipedia page at some point in the last few months because of just general stuff I do. I think he's played 433 games, and I don't know why I think it's that number, but I think he's played slightly more.
So you're both saying more?
Yeah.
You're both correct, but it's actually 488.
It's a lot of
a point.
For a lot of clubs.
Yeah, you can both have a point.
Well, he's still going now, isn't he? He's still in Workington's squad this year, I think.
Probably.
Yeah.
And he's actually scored 104 tries as well.
Wow. And probably, 500 goals?
Oh, I'd have thought easily, yeah. Okay, so maybe a dream second row pairing of Manu and Manu, Sicker and Willie. Firstly, who has had the most career appearances?
I'd say Willie Manu.
Yeah, I'd say Willie Manu because I think he played more in our competition, and we play more games.
Yeah. Willie had 319 career appearances to Sicker's 253. And how about who had the most Hull FC appearances?
Ooh. Is this one me first?